Up. That's another tier 8 battleship. He's getting some shots. He's on fire. Yep, he's on fire, so he's leaking some health. Boom! There you go. What's up, friends? We take out the Iwami, the tier 8 Japanese battleship premium that we just earned from the campaign. See the last game that I played to get this. I'll put that link in the description. But honestly, I'll be honest with you guys. Never gonna lie, I'm not a fan of tier 8s in general. Not super excited about this ship, but I want to see if it can perform. What can it do? Now, on paper, it is a 410 millimeter, main gun battleship. It seems all foreboding and intimidating. Has 15 kilometer, torpedoes, three on each side. But holy mackerel, like, it's really, really long distance torpedoes. But when it comes to the guns, right, which for me, my play style, again, I'll never tell you guys, what's up. I have lots of questions, I have my opinions, but I'm not arrogant enough to say this is how it should be done. Battleships, for me, I'm a sniper, okay? For the most part. There's a time and place to brawl, weaken them from afar in the beginning, if possible. And for me, I'm going to keep the enemy as far away as possible with a good hit there, by the way, of 9,000. Could have been better. But, how am I going to do that is with the main guns. The main guns are really only four turrets, 2 guns per, which really means I only have 8 guns. I only have 8 rounds that I'm sending out. Now, granted, it's about a 22, the way, with all the setup and whatnot, right? With my commander and all those modifications. Yeah, we'll just call it a 22-second reload, which is, decent. But why am I not just playing the Yamato, right? I feel like the Yamato hits pretty damn hard. With this ship, let's take a look at it. Let's see how it performs. Let's see how the accuracy is, penetration. Does it bring that? Does it deliver on that damage? Now that ship that we just shot at, German battleship, great armor, great angling, and it did go dark right before he pulled the trigger. So who knows what RNG is going to call that? But survey says, okay. So we got, we'll call it 7,000 off of that. But I'm keeping track of this, right? I don't really anticipate playing the Iwami. And by the way, I'll just tell you, I don't play a lot of tier 8s. I'm either a tier 7 guy, or let's either do it or don't do it. So it's either tier 7 or let's just jump to legendary. But, again, I don't want to sound negative, but that's just my flow. Maybe some of you guys have different love tier 8s, and bless you for it. So here's an example, and I don't know why I said 3 earlier, but so here's an example of those 4 torpedoes being sent out. Again, 15 kilometer max. Kind of in a general direction of what we saw was a cruiser cruising by. And you might get lucky, right? Kind of a suppressive kind of shot there. Got some HE inbound. Great, no fires. We've only lost 4,000 hit points so far. There's an Iwami out there, but it's nose in. Let's see how it does against its cousin there. Its twin bro. And survey says, it's like 4,000 and change. I kind of feel like that's what I get most often. I don't really feel like I do these really big, devastating things. Could be me. Maybe I'm not aiming right with this thing. Maybe, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I don't think if there's one thing, I don't think I'm a battleship noob on how to aim, but okay, I'm open. Now here's a great example. Iwami going pretty broadside. What is this guy going to give us? And now that was tasty. We got a Citadel and what's the numerical value on that? That was a crap ton of HP. So wah and who? I'll take that. To me, that was really the first example of some really cool battleship action. Let's see if we can reproduce that. So again, really trying to get all my guns into play. I often like to do alpha strikes whenever possible. I'm just kind of goofy like that. These are going out in 2 sets there. Front and rear guns, and he pulled away, and at that distance he had enough time, right? But he pulled away, nothing to report back home. You've got a battleship here swinging back, so we're gonna get a piece of him up and over this island. But there's also the cruiser, so it's really about targets of opportunity, prioritizing, And I still have way too long to wait. Lost a gun. Get it back and cool down. Glad it didn't make me reload. And nope, still no torpedo action. But I often use that too, by the way, to tell me how they are, what their vector is, what their positioning, the direction of travel. All right, so he's making a big old giant turn. We're not going to be able to get anything off of this guy because he'll be behind cover. Maybe the cruiser can give us some love. Here we go. Come on, RNG gods. Fingers crossed. It's a good-looking shot, broadside, but it is a good distance away. Maybe he'll be able to get out of the way. Maybe not. Let's see what happens. Nice. 32,000, and we got 2 citadels. Beautiful. I'll absolutely take that. You see me kind of tacking back and forth, technique that you'll often see me do. As I continue to try to keep these guys at bay. I'm not very excited about the score. We're not up by very much. This could be anyone's game. And we just now got one more ship than theirs, but it was only a DD. Yes, it's important. But from the point value, the least of the points. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. And I'm kind of in a poopy, broadside-ish kind of motif here. So I'm going to turn into it to try to negate the damage. And thank goodness, wasn't that bad. Oh, but here comes an island. The Iwami's shooting at me. I really, really would prefer to turn right and get out of there. They're both in reload, so I can go ahead and try to do this, as well as hug the island in an attempt to prevent them citadeling me. If they do fire at me, I'm hoping that the island will block those shots because I'm close enough to it. You know, speaking of battleship rounds, well, any rounds, right? But talking about battleships, theoretically being so darn far away from the enemy, you know, and a lot of armor, right, is on the sides of the hull. And I'm sorry if I'm preaching to the choir, you guys already know this, but it's kind of fascinating to me, and it's kind of a strategy that I think about. Maybe you guys, maybe it is new to you guys, right? Maybe there's a brand new player, whatever. You know, when you're far away, you're going to get the maximum arc to your target, right? When you're furthest away, versus if you're close, there's not much of an arc because your target is so close. It's almost a lateral or a straight shot. Now we're, by the way, side note, just on fire. We still have 33 seconds for cooldown, and I'm not really comfortable here. I mean, I feel like there's nobody else. I mean, yes, I see there's one ship that's out there, but between me and him, we're the only ones out there, and I don't like being a focus-fired ship, so not too pleased with this. I'm glad that we are winning through point-wise, but I don't know the health status of everybody else, and then the Reds are, you know, I don't know. It still could go either way. But getting back to my point, though, and I find this valuable, whether you're a powerful battleship, powerful gun, or not. But especially if you're not. If you're fighting somebody, if you're exchanging shots with someone who has really good side armor, where are they weakest? And the answer is the deck, right? So if you can drop rounds on someone who has strong armor, but drop it on them so that it is literally falling down on them at a most 90-degree possible, you're not dealing with their side armor. You're just dealing with deck armor, right? And in theory, it's going to plunge straight down and really hurt them in the ouchie spots there. And maybe set off some ammo-racking engines, you know, who knows what. Some criticals, basically, right? So just something to think about. You know, it's what I think about if I'm fighting someone who has really strong armor. I want to get those up and in the air and then down, plunging fire. That's the word, plunging fire on those decks. And I often do that with some of these German, you know, especially turtleback kind of armors. I don't do my typical citadel shots near the water line. Sometimes I'll change it up, and what I'll do is it's almost where I'm trying to like get it right over the hull and into the deck. It's almost like I'm aiming for the deck line versus the water line. So let's see how this thing is going to end up. That's another tier 8 battleship. He's getting some shots. He's on fire. Yep, he's on fire, so he's leaking some health. Boom! There you go. And that's what I'm talking about. You get those shots. If you notice, it really came in and down, and it was, you know, quite frankly, you know, out there in that outer ring of my range. Now, it's 123,000. Well, we'll call it 124,000 worth of damage in this game. And honestly, this is just something I'm really sharing with you because I wanted to give you my impression of the Iwami. I'm not going to tell you how to run it yourself, depending on your setup and your style. But me, again, a sniper BB guy. Even though it says it's a 410 gun, I really don't feel the 410-ness of the gun. I'm really curious if you guys put in the comments. Let me know if you're running this ship. One, how does it feel? And two, how do you run it? Right? Like based on how it's behaving for you, are you changing your typical battleship strategies, or are you playing this like any other battleship and you're not noticing a difference and it's all in my head, which, you know, I'm open to that. But I just, oh man, I feel like I have to be, I hate to say the word lucky because that sucks, but I feel like I have to be lucky in where my shots land because I don't feel it's as accurate as it should be. And I don't feel like it is as potent as it should be. Even though the numbers on paper, even though I have my commander, it doesn't make sense to me, to be honest. It's kind of goofy. Now that shot right there to me was another example of that plunging fire on the deck, which is why I was able to get a good 9,000 chunk out of him. But I really expect more 10 from this thing, but you know, whatever. All right, we went ahead and sent out those double salvos there, a little alpha strike, and there, look at that. It was like 2,000 and change, and we killed a gun. But it's like, come on, man, that was a good amount of rounds that landed that were 410s. Now is he firing? Yeah, he's firing some HE. Let's see what happens here. We're gonna get away from this. Nice. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, yes. That poor guy. That poor guy. He was getting it from all ends, and I just happened to have landed my rounds at just the right time. But they actually look like, you know, a good cluster on that particular salvo. But, you know, again, I'm not... Maybe I'll change my mind down the line, but I'm just not super impressed with the Iwami. I can't see myself coming back to play this over and over again, other than just trying to knock out the, you know, some of the tasks that come with when you get this ship. But you know, if you're not having fun, why are you doing it, right? And when it starts becoming work, really start questioning where I'm spending my time here. Because are those rewards really worth putting the time in for getting, you know, this much damage or this many, you know, kills and blah, blah, blah. So time will tell. Now, they have just one destroyer left, and we're obviously going to win the game. Let me go ahead and just jump to the end because there's nothing really else to discuss or point out. All right, let's do the time warp again. All right, so... skipping through, nothing much to see, and because we can't really find this DD, what we're going to go ahead and do is we're just going to crawl into the base capture, get a few extra points, because why not, right? Another way to contribute to the team, and we'll take a look at the ending game results. And again, you know, again, I'm trying to be positive about this. It's fun to the extent where it didn't suck, but I'm not in love with the Iwami. Looking forward to hearing what you guys have to say about the Iwami. But so far, it's been meh. Happy that I came in first place. Got some good coinage for that. But again, looking forward to hearing what you have to say about it. Guys, let me know how you feel about getting the Iwami after that long campaign. Was it worth it to you? And if you liked it, like it. Catch you in the next one.